It's Open Line Friday. Rush Limbaugh executing assigned host duties flawlessly. And as usual, half my brain tied behind my back. Just to be fair, we have an Open Line Friday question coming up here. This is Wayne in Manhattan. Wayne, I'm glad you called. How are you, sir?
Hey, Rush. How are you doing?
Good.
Dittos
Very
from
good.
Bolshevik Bill's Grand Experiment in Manhattan.
All right. Thank you much.
So every day at work, I take my radio and go outside and enjoy a cigar, and I listen to usually the third hour of your show.
Yes.
And it's by far the best part of my day. I look forward to it all day.
Thank you so much.
Lately, I've been having an issue with my cigars, and I wanted to run it by you and see if you had any advice. I have a good lighter, and when I light the cigars, sometimes I can't seem to get it lit evenly, and so the cigar will smoke down halfway. Half of the tip will smoke down normally, but the other half it won't even light. It'll stay sort of like a giant hard black ash.
Yeah.
And no matter how many times I try to fire it up with the lighter, sometimes I just cannot get it to smoke evenly.
Okay, here's what I've learned over the course of many years cigar smoking experience. I'm a connoisseur of an expert. No two cigars are the same. I don't care. They come from the same box, same factory, same roller, same day. No two cigars are the same. The draw is going to be different. The burn is going to be different. The humidity, the moisture content of the cigar tobacco is going to be different. I have what happened to you happen all the time. It's either the uneven burn happens and half the cigar is burning fine, the other half it just stops burning and turns black. What I do is one of two things: either throw the cigar out or just relight that part of the cigar which appears to have gone out. I can spend, let's say a cigar lasts me an hour, I can probably spend, 25 different experiences relighting it at various stages to keep the burn even. If it's really tasting good, if it's worth it, then I will keep relighting what you're calling that part of the cigar that stops burning, that's uneven. It results from a plug. And too much tobacco that's different density than the rest of the cigar. And you can't know it before you light it. There's no way you can tell this is going to happen. So you either toss it and start anew. If you like the flavor, you just keep lighting it to keep the burn even and keep going until it stops tasting good. Then you pitch it.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. I was starting to get depressed, but now I feel like if it happens to you, I feel like, well,
Oh, it happens to everybody. It happens to everybody. And depending on the kind of cigar, that, as I say, no two cigars are the same, no matter where they come from. You can rely on brands. There are really quality brands where the rolling is superb. The manufacturer is superb. It's what you pay for the cigar will generally tell you whether it's good or not. But even the most expensive cigars, you're going to get bummers. Now, I can tell you my favorite cigar right now, and I'm not going to name it. My favorite cigar right now, I throw away 25% of every box. They just don't draw.
Wow, I'm gonna have to up my orders, I think.
So it's not unusual. The point is you're not running it. Well, you are running into bad ones, but it's not you. It's not unusual. By the way, and I'm very particular. I love cigars. If the flavor isn't there within the first 10 minutes of lighting it, I toss it. It's not going to improve. You'll know in the first 5 minutes whether you got a good one or not. If it's not, toss it and start again. It can be expensive to do that, but if you really like it and if the flavor matters, you can find it. It just may take 2 or 3 attempts.
Yeah, I love the Fuente Double Chateaus. I smoke them almost exclusively. I've been smoking them for a long time.
Well, the Fuente, you can't go wrong. The Fuente, the Don Carlos. Have you smoked a Don Carlos?
No, I haven't smoked a Don Carlos. I've seen them in the humidors.
Grab a Don Carlos. You're not going to have these kind of problems with Don Carlos. You won't have these problems with Opus X. Those are really expensive. But you're smoking your double Chateau. The Fuentes are awesome. So many of them are. La Flor Dominicana is great too. But even in these, it's just the law of averages. In some, they're hand rolled, they're handmade, and some of them You're going to have plugs. You're going to have a tough draw, and you can either stick with it and get a hernia, or you can throw it out and light a new one.
Well, you should see the looks I get in Midtown Manhattan on a beautiful afternoon with Rush Limbaugh blaring from my little radio and cigars.
Doesn't get any better than I can well understand. I know how much you want to enjoy that cigar. Those of us who do, you really want it to be good. Yeah. And especially if you've had one that's really good, you want every one after that to be good. And you can do that, but you might have to throw some out to get it.
Well, I appreciate that, Rush. I was starting to think it was user error, but I appreciate your advice. Thank you.
You bet. You do not think that it's only happening to you. It's a lot of products that way. Sometimes people buy a car, it's a lemon. Other times it's just smooth sailing. Sometimes you order stuff on FedEx and it shows up right. The next day it's all screwed up, like today. You just never know. You just have to keep hunting. You find something you like, stick with it, and maintain your standards. And if something, same brand, doesn't suffice, throw it out and start a new.